Right, when I first saw DJs doing this behind me, I was a bit like, oh, what's he doing? IC3 is one of the most charismatic entertainers. He belongs on a stage.
Yeah. You're not going to post it. I went, nah, of course not, Reg.
Drum and bass obviously is a derivative of jungle. It all comes from jungle, which do it, and I'm good, man. Why is everyone louder than me? I'm not that quiet.
Yeah.
SaSaSaS show. Best of the best of the best with the very fresh flow.
Yes, we are back in here. SaSaS, the podcast. You know, you've seen the first few editions by now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's going off out there.
Getting a good feedback.
It's been getting good feedback, man. Do you know what I'm saying? First of all, we just want to say, get well, Shabba.
Yes,
you know what I mean? He's bedridden right now. You know what I mean? There's a lot of flu going around. Mate, there's a lot of it.
So many people ill at the moment.
And I know did you come on the train today?
Yeah, I did.
Right. Did you have your mask on?
Of course I had my mask on.
I
am one of those people, unfortunately, that I just rather not get ill. And even if it's a myth or whatever. Do you know what? One thing I've got to say, when we went abroad to like South Korea, you know, people, if they had a cold or something, they were wearing masks.
Oh yeah, they do that regs,
exactly.
Yeah.
And for years, I've always thought to myself, why don't we do that? If someone has a cold over it, just wear a mask, man.
Yeah.
I remember one time, we're digressing here, but I remember one time I was on the tube and the tube was quite rammed and this guy stood in front of me and just coughed.
Didn't even do this.
I went nothing. Didn't cover his mouth or nothing. I went mental.
Yeah.
I started going, who the fuck? I was going mad, and like
you brought out your Chelsea headhunter side.
Well, yeah, but you know what it was? I just thought it was rude, and then you know, like, what it was.
Put your hand over your mouth.
It was a natural reaction, and he was like, and it was a natural reaction, but. You just see everybody in the train just sort of left a bit of a gap. Yeah. And I thought, then, you know, after that initial reaction, I thought to myself, it was like 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit, it's going to go off now. And then he just turned around and he just put his head down. And I was like, that's rude, mate.
Yeah,
like,
come on, man. We don't need no rude behaviour out here. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely fuming about that. So, yeah, I will wear a mask.
No, I respect that, man. You know, there's a lot going around right now. So be safe, people, and all that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. It's not even the COVID thing, bro. It's just regular flu and colds and coughs and sore throats. And I think for us as MCs as well, like, you know, if you're doing like 2 or 3 shows on the weekend, the last thing you want is a sore throat when you've got to rinse out bars for an hour or even tell people to put their hands in the air for an hour if it's one of them
also
ones.
As well, if you have to pass the mic and someone's got a cold.
Bro, that's why you have your own mic. No one no more has like turning up like saying, it did used to happen. Shout to the MCs, you just say, can I borrow your mic shots? You know what I mean? I have lent a few MCs my mic over the years. Obviously, man, like Skibber, I think I lent Diesel once, you know what I mean? Even Nutcracker, I think, as well. So you will do it for the man then, but these days it's like common sort of etiquette to bring your mic, man. So shout out to all the MCs who bring their own mics.
That's like a DJ not turning up without music and headphones, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, back in the day, it was a thing that like you would have a club mic. But I remember when I first come into the scene, I was thinking, why is everyone louder than me? I'm not that quiet. Yeah. It's because I didn't have an Evie. Right. When I got my Evie, I was like, right, this is what's going on. Right, okay. Do you know what I mean?
Excellent. So you know what? Let's start this pod, right? Let's talk about MC culture. So we'll talk about MC culture within drum and bass, but also within just the culture in general. So do you want to, as one of the leading MCs out there?
I think you know, in drum and bass, as far as I've known it from coming up and being a fan of the music first, that was always my thing. I was a fan of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was into hip hop, and then suddenly I heard this amazing music. Was like, first of all, I'll be honest, the first music I heard literally in school was more, I guess you'd call it rave music, Rat Pack, Searching for My Rizla, them sort of tunes, Captain of the Ship, all them shit. That was going around my school like mad. Everyone was into that. And then it kind of went hardcore, and I wasn't into hardcore. I've got to admit, that wasn't my vibe, but a lot of the kids was. But then when I started hearing these break beats and these reggae samples, that's what drew me in. Yeah. And then I was into that, and I thought, this is wicked, and I was kind of like delving in and out of it. But then when I started to hear the MCs on it, you know, I mean, I've probably told this story a few times, but I remember this kid the kid was from London. I live in Kent. I'm still there now. He came from London. He bought this tape, and it was a telepathy tape. Okay. And it was Shabba and Skibber, and I sat in the car, and I was like, wow, this is life-changing moments. Oh, wow. Hearing this music with the way they were chatting on it, I was like this. Don't turn it off. Yeah. Shh. Still trying to talk.
Wait a minute, you still do that now on the road?
I like to listen to music.
Yeah,
and
he does.
He's not like, no, I do that. When I'm on the road with you.
Can't talk.
No, when I'm on the road with you, I'll get ready for the chat. It does go quick. It does go quicker. But so yeah, I was blown away, and that's how I came into drum and bass, seeing that link up between say a Brocky and a Skibber, Shabba and a Flirt, whatever it was, whatever combination it was, a Det and a whoever, you know what I'm saying? So like that was my initial introduction into drum and bass, the MC and the DJ working together. And from my understanding of it, through talking to certain people in the scene, drum and bass, that initial jungle vibe was built off a sound system culture. You know, people like Eastman and stuff like that doing core and all that kind of stuff. It was built off a reggae sound system going into the jungle vibes. So they was kind of building off what people like Ragga Twins and Navi were doing in sound systems when they were doing reggae, but bringing that vibe over to jungle. So it was only natural that it was a combination of the MC and the DJ doing their thing to entertain the people. So to me, that is foundation of D&B and jungle. Do you know what I'm saying? And especially jungle, but obviously, if you want to get into the whole D&B thing, obviously, I think that was sort of brought in sort of something to sort of, there was probably negative press around the name jungle or the term jungle. So it was sort of thought maybe we'll call it drum and bass, and maybe then we can get into different clubs and they won't be being locked off by
it was a horrible
I wasn't
time.
there, but this is what I've heard.
I was there, and it wasn't a good time. What it was, the best way to explain it is when the music becomes so popular that it just brought the like bad element out. And what it was like some events were just getting shut down, and the police and the councils were just like, oh, we don't want this music.
Yeah, so it was a fight down. So it got rebranded to drum and bass, but drum and bass obviously is a derivative of jungle. It all comes from jungle, which comes from sound system culture. So to me, the MC being a part of any drum and bass set is 100% how it should be. Now, I'm not an idiot. We know there's certain drum and bass producers now in the current world that make full vocal music. I'm talking like songs, beautiful music, great music. Not hating on it at all. So do they really need an MC? Probably not. But if you're playing instrumental-led drum and bass music without vocals, then of course I believe an MC should be on that set with that said DJ, because that's the essence of the music. Now, the music always evolves and it always moves on, but you know, even in my own experience in hip hop, if you lose the essence of the music, then you lose the vibe, you lose the roots, and you lose the culture. Then you're just competing with pop music, which has no substance, no roots, none of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you make jungle or drum and bass pop or EDM, then it loses everything that makes it special and everything that drew in the original audience. Which is why I think having an MC on drum and bass, you know, pretty much is quintessential to it, like ticking the boxes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know that I come from that era, from the acid house era, and you know the before rave, when it was like kind of house and everything. Then it went into rave, and I myself clocked quite early the importance of an MC, and I basically got my friend. I talk about this in my book. I got my friend Dave Beresford is his name, and I basically just said to him one night, do you fancy coming out and MCing for me? Because I knew I needed, like, I was, the way I looked at it is, I'm the DJ, you got the crowd there, I needed someone to just connect the two, because I wouldn't touch the mic back then. Now, I touch the mic.
There's a secret MC hidden within this guy, dying to come out. We've seen it over the years. He's been putting out the little feelers, doing his Adam Deacon impressions, and do you know what I mean? And then the other day on Pyro, he was trying to chime in on a few bars. So we see the energies, man.
If you see the Pyro show, you'll see there's a few times I actually get involved in the bars, and like, you know, it's got to be done, man. Yeah. But the thing is, I have been around the greatest, so like, you know, yourself,
a few things have rubbed off.
Shabs. Yeah. You know, so yeah, you definitely catch the bug. But just going back to the story about so Dave, his MC name was Reality. Okay. And we actually chose his name on the way to a rave.
Simple as that.
Yeah. So we were driving in the car, and I said to him, look, I'm Fantasy. So this is my theory back in the day. I'm Fantasy. So I take everyone on a journey through the music, and you talk to them. So you be Reality, because you bring them back to reality.
Reality, right?
So that's why Fantasy and Reality. That's quite good. And I was only 21 when I bought that.
It's good, man. And what you're saying there picks up on a point that is I'd like to make about MCing in general. Is everyone knows I love lyrics, bars, and that's what I've kind of built my name on. But at the same time, connecting with an audience.
100%.
If you're just standing up there spitting 1,000 bars, not looking at the crowd, not talking to the crowd, not interacting with the crowd, not getting them to make no noise, the bars mean nothing.
I think that's a good point. You said that, because I think that might be part of the reason why sort of MC culture as a whole has probably not grabbed like everybody, like say a certain style of the music or the music in general has, because you have people that that will just literally head down and you know, and just spray and not talk to the crowd or interact with them.
That goes back.
Lack of experience.
That goes back. I was about to say that. That goes back to me. Lack of experience. Everyone needs time. Goes back to what we were saying on the previous podcast. People need time to develop in a club environment, in a small environment where they can learn these things. That learn that, like, I'm not really connecting with the crowd. Why is that?
Yeah.
And then maybe the DJ says, well, you wasn't talking to them. You wasn't looking at them. You wasn't making eye contact. You wasn't shouting out the guy who's going crazy and joining for the reload. You've got no connection with them. All you've got is your bars.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's more of a learning thing to me. But I don't think that argument holds weight in the bigger scale, because I could give you 20 MCs now who you could book tomorrow for any set and would be able to engage with the crowd, hype up the crowd, spit bars, work with another MC, all these kind of things they'd be able to do. So I don't think that holds weight, because I put out something on Twitter a little while ago and there was so much debate on it, man, about MCs and stuff. And people were criticising things MCs do, but I was thinking, but the top level don't do that.
Yeah.
So you're going to blame the top level for what you're seeing at a little club down in Ramsgate or Brighton, or I'm not singling them places out, shout to them, but you know what I'm saying? You're watching one bad MC and then you're tarnishing these incredible artists and these incredible performers and talents and MCs that have got bars, lyrics, charisma. You know, I think the drum and bass, I'm going to big up the MCs now, because there's lyricists. You know, there's lyricists, big up X, Evil, there's loads, you know what I'm saying? But there's also entertainers in drum and bass.
Time.
IC3 is one of the most charismatic entertainers. He belongs on a stage.
100%.
That is my definition of being able to connect with a crowd. What he does on a set is just out of this world. It's something to learn from.
He actually goes into the crowd.
I know.
We did a show in Germany the other day, and like honestly, the pair of us absolutely tore the roof off the place.
Yeah.
And
Chelsea boys.
Yeah. We won't talk football. This one. Yeah, we're having a bad time. Anyway. But yeah, the thing is I actually was trying to trying to find him to sort of tell him I'm about to play. You know how I'll nudge you or the boys and go, I'm going to play this now. And I'm looking for him and I'm turning around to Christoph and I'm going, where's Roger? Where's IC3? And he's there. And I see him in the crowd and I went, come up. So did you see that video of me and IC3 going left? And
I see
right,
having a little dance, mate. Love that.
Do you know, he said to me, yeah, bro, Brian G was there, DJ Rap. Honestly, I never see Brian G laughing so much. Right? But Brian turned around and said to me, bro, you had the crowd all going to the left and all going to the right. I was like, I hope the video guy got it. Anyway, the video wasn't great, but you got the idea. But anyway, IC3 turned around to me on the way home and he's like, you know that video? And I was like, he went, we were all sitting in the airport and he went, you're not going to post it? I went, nah, of course not, Rog. That's why if you see Brian G in the post I put, Brian G put in the comments, he went, I knew you'd post it because
you had to.
Because we had a conversation about it and I promised Roger I wouldn't play. So then he messaged me privately. He's like, bro, like, take that down. I said, nah. I said, like, you got to leave it up. Man. It's a moment. That's what I'm
created a great moment.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what he did as an MC, by kind of just vibes him with it.
I was dragging him.
And that wouldn't be for everybody. Don't get it twisted. But IC3 is all about the fun, all about the vibes, of course. And this is what I'm saying about the MCs. There's characters, there's different people in this scene that bring different things. You know, there's people like SP and DRS who are very technical lyrically, and you get them on them rollers and them dark tunes and them techie tunes, you're going to feel a mad vibe if you just take in what they're saying. You know, there's still, thank God, the reggae element is still in the music with Navi, Ragga Twins. Do you know what I'm saying? And Spider. You know, it's still there and still very, and it's important that it stays there because reggae was a big part of the way the scene was built and whatnot. So that's there. You've got your double time, you know what I mean? More what I do, Shabba, Skibber, do you know what I'm saying? And there's so many voices and so many people doing different things. And now you've got, to me as well, it's not just MCs now in drum and bass. There's vocalists that are drum and bass vocalists. Ruth Royale. Little Sound, who I think's amazing. I mean, when I saw her do her thing live, because I met her for the first time at a boat party, lovely girl and all that, and then she jumped on the set and I was like, she's actually DJing. I didn't know she DJed as well. She DJs and does her thing on the and PAs her records, man.
It's like Katie Coven. She does the same thing.
Big up Coven.
Yeah, she's wicked, man. I love her.
Bare energy.
lovely energy. She's just a lovely person.
Where did we meet her first? In Russia? It was Russia, you know?
I knew her before because she was on the agency.
Oh, okay, I didn't know her before Russia.
Yeah, but that's where we met her. Do you remember how nervous she was? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
1,000 shows later.
Yeah, I said to her, you've got this, man. Come on. And she was just so nervous, but absolutely lovely.
And
lovely
again,
person.
the personalities that come through with these people is amazing, man. And big up Inja as well. He's doing that as well. He's doing
man.
This Is Inja.
Yeah.
I must have done a set the other week in Brighton, and Inja came on and he's
Wait a second.
He's
Hold on
sorting
a
the
minute.
decks out and he's jumping on the mic and
I need to bring
DJing.
something up, yeah? So MCs moan about DJs when they get on the mic. Is this our time to moan about MCs getting on the decks? Because wait a minute, you've had a little mix on the decks.
Oh, I did it for fun, man. I ain't trying to get behind the decks full time, man. I can't do that. You know what I mean? I could probably beat match, but I don't, you know, in terms of all the techie shit you man do and actually bringing it at the right time and I'll just bring it when I want. All right, mix is excellent. Next one, do a little scratch. Do it. And I'm good, man. So I'm not interested in that. But it's an interesting point what you just raised, man.
But that is, you know, like
because people have been saying that, like, oh man, DJs are getting on the mic now. They're trying to be EDM DJs and they want to take the forefront and they're dancing about and they're going up front and all this. Like,
I think, you know what it is? Like, just talking about that, for me, I remember years ago, like, you know, as DJs, we kind of kept our head down, and what we do is we just look up the top of our eyes at what the crowd doing. It wasn't like an interaction thing, and this was many years ago. It was actually UK Apache who actually changed my whole process on this. And we went to like Finland, of all places, and he was there and he was doing this thing. He was going signal to the crowd, waving left to right, and like I was the only person in the whole venue that wasn't doing it. And like he turned around to me and he went, "What are you doing?" And he looked like this. So what I did is, with my head down, I started going like that. Yeah. And then I noticed no one cared. No one cared. They were all doing it. So I just thought, oh, okay,
yeah.
I don't look in my head. I'm like, do I look stupid?
Do you know what, right?
I don't care.
Do you know what it is,
like,
right? I'll be honest, right? When I first saw DJs doing this behind me, I was a bit like, oh, what's he doing?
Was that me, Brad?
No, it probably was, yeah. You get a blind, but...
No, you know what the funny thing is?
But then I realised, you know what? I'm glad the DJs are more interactive with the crowd now. I'm glad they're getting involved more on the set, because it's just more movement on the stage. It's more energy. It's more pushing those vibes into the crowd rather than a selector man just looking down doing his thing, which is cool, man.
Well, I think what it is if you can show the crowd you're having a good time with them, then that's like a moment where you're all together. You've got the crowd, the MCs, the DJs, all together as one, united by one thing, the music.
Exactly, man.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's what it all comes down to, this thing. Like, you know, I'm always fighting for the MCs, but I will say this, it's a 50-50 thing.
Of course it is.
I don't want the MC mic to be too loud. I tell people, I did it on Friday in Bristol, I said, turn the mic down. I don't want the mic to override the music. I want to be complementing the music and it to be a nice balance and everyone to work together to create a vibe. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want the mic super low. I want it to be at a level where people can hear me and enjoy it and everything else, but it should be a thing where we're working together. It isn't a thing when we should be fighting against the DJ and the DJ should be fighting against the MCs. And DJs trying to block MCs and MCs saying, fuck the DJs. And all that. Like, no, man, come on. This music is a unification thing.
Of course.
SaSaSaS, beats and bars, fresh. Don't know it heavy, the best of the best of the best. So awesome if they're ready. Yes. SaSaSaS, beats and bars, fresh. Don't know it heavy, the best of the best of the best. So awesome if they're ready. Yes.